I'm Milton, and this is gold 8x10 sharp wheelchair, and these are my most recent 8x10 orders from York Photos. Make that video if you hijack call to me, not one flight 93 check call and over a decade of asking, and gold should be one of these. Gold, the 8x10 has been chair napped. See if you can find him. And yes, recall, because we can't call at every incumbent photo op. Recall because we can't call. You see someone crazy as anything, Chinese or other, running around with two. One stolen out of the apartment, one stolen out of my York order, and if I didn't point it out, but 362. If you see that, for some reason they hate this image right here. They butchered it on the computer in the middle of designing a saint's image, and they've butchered it as it was printed and sent to me. Smaller browner circles slowly disappearing. I'm going to show you the bigger bluer circles growing through and around. And yes, very seriously, make that video if you hijack call to me, not one flight 93 check call in over a decade. And yes, very seriously, if you've seen gold, motorized wheelchair, you can hear him just being sleek, maneuverable. If you've seen gold, the 8x10 Old English photo that drives the Chinese crazy as anything, yeah. Bring him back in person. My mail gets stolen. Another reason to stay impeached and recall Trump. There's one eye. Here's the other. Come see me in person. Tell me all about that saint that needs an image. Tell me all about our religious censorship that affects our lifelines. And yes, have Will Travis show me a great place to build. The Jesus is Immaculate House, with some big tough protection for my gold and other Old English imagery. I'm Milton, son of a carpenter married. This is my sugar chick, and yeah, I'll show you a nice one. Then I'm going to tell you about the hate they did yesterday. They literally stole again an 8x10 of gold. Stole the original 8x10 Old English. I still got the one with the the first original font. Stole that. Then I reordered, and they stole it again. See if I can find that one real quick. And this has been put in, a few of them each time. I think it might be Chinese because it's the last time the C-A-R-M-P-T-E-R was cut off. The first few words of Carpenter there with this bizarre. Maybe there's a little border up there, but I don't think it's I never printed gold as a square, a 5x5 or anything. I don't know what the hell this is, other than being obvious. Bory and Brady Bond hatred. But the big 5 was stolen, the laminated one. Then the big 5, well, not big 5, gold was stolen. Then the laminated gold was stolen originally. Then just now they were stolen from the order. And hatred doing this again just to aggravate. I'm assuming it's been the past 2 times, maybe 3. And it's not much money out of my pocket, but it is money out of my pocket, same as the $3 gold. And yesterday, 397. It was 389 yesterday, and that's fasting after not eating anything. It's about 11 o'clock. It was 10 o'clock when I went to bed. So it's obvious to the doctors who aren't being the devil that it is not my food intake that is doing that. It is simply the devil, Lord. And yesterday they had a nurse that looked dead on. I couldn't figure it out at first because I wasn't expecting it. But she looks dead on, like a convalescent hospital from hell nurse that was Chinese as hell, taunting as hell. Back in the convalescent hospital from hell, in the wheelchair for, had the wounds that put me in the wheelchair. There's another place they butchered with this photo order. Here's gold. Just imagine him with a, Old English. Here's what's always on hand. The Chinese Mormon cult princesses. Non-Chinese looking, but Chinese. Back to this, 389. And just as I turned off the video, after I show you my sugar check, the phone rang. They can reach me by phone. You need to know how Aspire Healthcare in Los Angeles here can reach me by phone. You ask them again and again. All employees, Parker Fleet and noisemakers outside their homes, they're very actively involved in this. Phone rings. Just finished the sugar check. Always do my sugar checks fasting as I just get up. A little more of a ridgy effect there this morning. Can be more brown, more tannish. The brown can be darker. The tanness can be lighter, whiter. Big Lewis circles growing in through and around. Well, no longer through. That outer brown circle is gone, but medical research and genetic carpentry of a carpenter himself. Genetic carpenter, me, Melvin. But no sooner had I finished the sugar check, I went down, let her in to do the why you need to do that. Oh, give me a stethoscope and I'll write down what my blood pressure is. But came up here and less than half an hour later took my blood sugar herself and it was 420 something, up into the 420s. Then they had it didn't sound too much like the nurse and assistant with Dr. Roy Jackson, Dr. Roy Harper Jackson, as it says on the I didn't know they had weed cream. It's a health food thing, so I'm assuming it's not the best. It's not a prescription thing, but I didn't know they had weed cream. I'm not sure I want to try it because I'm always surrounded by potheads. But back to my parable about the devil bitch from the convalescent hospital being the nurse and taunting in that over-the-top way, and it's Chinese. Because the first nurse was incredibly disrespectful, and then they I said I don't want that one, and then they had a decent nurse, Rachel, for a little while, and asked me about St. Dominic's. Apparently there's a church somewhere in Los Angeles that is a Catholic church named St. Dominic. She had seen it. I'm not sure. I didn't ask. I'm not sure what it was about, whether she saw it in the image, a saint's image. I do have like one church. It was up over by Wilshire there. But yeah, she doesn't come anymore to do the decent real nurse thing. It's just the taunting folks of Aspire and Sylvia of Aspire Healthcare. Used to have Clora, who would almost a couple of years ago. She kept switching healthcare stuff from one home healthcare to another. I'm not sure if there's anything bad about that, but I do know she caught up as I was trying to get to the hospital last year to get relief from the massive pain from the Muslim doctor down the street, Martha Mees, giving me insulin poisoning, and I'm pretty sure she knew all about it. Certainly the ones at the hospital, the little Chinese doctor or staff member, I'm not sure if he's a doctor, and this big kind of football player, lumbering guy with a close haircut. In that emergency room where they showed me they know how to deal with my pain. Doc was something 8 times better than morphine. I don't think I was supposed to be conscious as they rolled me into the basement to take that MRI thing. I don't think I was supposed to be conscious because you know, the nurse there yelled at the two helping me off the table to get that done, yelled at them everything but the skull. And with the amount of bone stuff, genetic stuff going on with that skull lately, yeah, they don't like something about that up there. But back to my story. When it jumps from 389 to 420 in less than half an hour, the water doesn't do it. Yeah, does it? I had a couple of sips, my mouth is kind of dry right now after I got back up and before she showed me that devil L'Oreal Pretty Pond hatred. And I could figure when she first showed up, she was looking at me funny. I didn't know what to expect. First time she showed up at the apartment, and she's designed to be a dead-on look for that night nurse with, lots of time didn't get the inadequate pain medicine at the convalescent hospital. A lot of folks in LA have earned you this image. Doctors, you look out into that emergency room or that waiting room, all of them can have the ever-present eyes and ears of technology. Be good. I'm Milton, son of a carpenter and married. Daddy carpenter, worked on skyscrapers. Mom Mary Ann, I'm the son of a carpenter. Mary, I get to tell parables. This is my graphic art. Find 30,000 plus graphic art photos. At a lot of these sites you might see in this imagery. YouTube Milton for imagery, for example. Daffodilly of the blog spot, Daffodilly of the Wix site. You'll find something you like in 30,000 plus graphic art photos. I'm a handsome bald guy. I have trouble doing 2 things at once, unless of course it's talking to hot blonde girls. Come see me. In person. Get you a nice favorite flower as a forever flower. Never have to water them again. Maybe your car, your house, your friends. It's up to you. And yes, girls, I can define graphic art with your beauty. You see someone besides me in my imagery? Yeah, I'm defining. 323. Let me show you the eyes real quick, and then I got to go get some pills and groceries. Day after Labor Day. Smaller brown circle right here disappearing. Bigger bluer stuff growing in through and around. That outer circle of the brown's gone. Yes, this is medical research being passed by. Now you're not reaching me by phone, that's your gate. Oh, excuse me, your AT&T livelihood. I'm in kind of a backward mode, or a mode from a few years ago. You see the blue getting bigger, the brown shrinking, and the white part around the brown there is working on it. Don't try this at home. Melton, son of a carpenter, Mary, dad carpenter, worked on skyscrapers, Mom Mary Ann. I'm the son of a carpenter, Mary. I get to tell parables, and Dad himself taught me. How'd you do that genetic carpentry? So, yeah, make that video if you had. Jake call to me. Come see me. And let me define graphic art with your beauty, girls. And yes, time on your phone, number dialed. You've got Randall Stevenson's, I don't know if it's big enough to show up. Bloody hands. He gets his hands bloody placing cowardly Husseins in our White House. He gets them even bloodier altering phone records to cover that up. Get that on video. Pause. Save the video for the Senate subcommittee, of course. Come see me and get your image. You any friends? Wouldn't that look good? A whole lot better than scribbling stuff down on a scrap piece of paper. Have that 4x6 photo there. Oh, come forward or 4x6 and you put them in your wallet. Make sure you laminate. Come get your contact image. Tell me all about your hijacked lifeline as you tried to call me. And let's get started building those 1,000 points of light. Jesus is immaculate house. You can call it an opportunity house, nothing to Jesus. That's okay. For now. Come see me and let's get started. Building a better world. I'm Milton, son of a carpenter, Mary. That's gold. And this is my morning sugar check parable. Yeah, apparently it takes a whole lot of blood sugar to grow a new pair of eyes, whole new body. Notice the brown outer circle of the brown eyes. Old brown eyes started disappearing in 1996. Oh, make sure you think before you check that box. On being an organ donor, especially with the character I've seen in doctors, especially out here in California, it may be the difference between you surviving that car wreck or not. Poor organ donor, rich organ recipient, 338. Let me show you guys what I mean by the browner, smaller circles disappearing. Bigger blue growing in through and around. Oh, I ordered the Virum. Oh, my Latin's a little rusty. Virum Wadeo. Image yesterday, was going to order it before, but a whole lot of devil running around Eagle Rock. See how that brown circle on the outside's gone, and you got the white kind of tannish part there, and the brown, and then the black. It can be more tannish, more whitish, more brownish, depending on the day. Slowly but surely, growing that new body. Yes, to build Jesus' immaculate house here on earth. Be a part of that. And you have Virum Wadeo. All Catholic doctors worldwide. Thank the ones in Lake Charles, Louisiana, Lorianne Brady Bond, Samuel Lynn Bond, and he's the gay husband of my personal knife in the back sister. And his gay brother Cheryl Bond with the Department of Water and Power. 30,000 of these things here. You gonna find something you like, print me out a couple paper clips. I'm keeping the company. This one perhaps. On that desk, on that nightstand, on that tabletop. back to that. Let me finish up. I got stuff to do. Cheryl Bond with the Department of Water and Power in charge of 1 in 30 Americans' water and electricity. Not 1 in 30 Californians' water and electricity. 1 in 30 Americans. So when you see them, him with his Mideast wife Moo, having car karma, broke down by the side of the road somewhere, or Lori and Brady Bond, personal knife in the back, gay husband with their car karma in Louisiana. Yeah, try to call me in front of them. Ask him when else will your lifeline not be allowed to work because of something they're a part of. And you ask how you do that. Devil Lori text taunted earlier in the year because I don't answer the phone anymore for that personal knife in the back. And a computer less than 3 months old broke. Coincidence? Oh, who knows, maybe. But, yeah, the devil. Ask her how she reaches me. Something you need to know in case your family's in burning building, car wreck, you could just be broke down by the side of the road, like the car camera of the Bonds. I'm told others like Randall Stevenson of AT&T and Garcetti and Newsom, they all have that car karma too for being an active part in America's hijacked lifelines out here in California. But you need to know what Lori Ann Brady Bond knows to get her phone to work. Who do you have to call? Because you need that phone. And ask, why are you an active part in America's hijacked lifelines? Post that video. Come see me in person. Tell me all about that perfect place to build Jesus' immaculate house. Maybe you got a saint that might need an image. Doesn't have to be a famous saint. Could be a obscure saint from the past. Make that video of your hijack call to me, then come see me in person. Tell me all about that saint. And yes, get that chant going at Newsom's, Governor Newsom's, LA Mayor Garcetti's, Trump's, photo ops. Recall because we can't call. Now, one polite 93 check. Call in over a decade of asking. Recall because we can't call. Now, one polite 93 check. Call in over a decade of asking. Get that on video. You got the time on your phone. You got my number dialed, and then when Randall Stevenson next door bought Spectrum to harass a Christian in a wheelchair, hijacks your call to me. You get on video. Because Randall, yes, hijacks America's lifelines to place cowardly Husseins in our White House, to place Trumps in our White House. Gets his hands even bloodier, altering phone records to cover up the fact he's hijacking lifelines. Get on video. Come see me in person. Tell me all about your hijacked lifelines, what you think of my imagery, whatever. And yes, have wit, will travel. Show me the perfect place to build. Jesus' immaculate house. Best people start building with. Have wit, will travel. Remember, gold needs a nice lift. I'm Melton, son of Carpenter and Mary. Daddy Carpenter worked on skyscrapers. Mom Marianne. I'm the son of Carpenter and Mary. I get to tell parables. This is my sugar check. This is gold. My wheelchair. Yeah, apparently it takes a whole lot of blood sugar to grow a new pair of eyes. Whole new body. And I know what you attractive girls out there are saying. What's wrong with the old eyes, the old body? Oh, improvements. Blue-eyed DNA taking over for brown-eyed DNA. 3:30, how about that? Remember, 9/11 Flight 93, check-in post in 5. Make that video of America's hijacked lifelines. Post. Got a whole bunch more, all clergy, all police, all, that might be it. All Americans, yeah. The big one here. I think I got all clergy. On the way. There's a 8x10. Yeah, guys, you don't just have to make that video of your hijack call on a Sunday or a Saturday, whatever other day. But you are protecting those in your congregation, or whatever it is you might call it. Here's what the eyes look like a few years ago. This brown circle here on the outside of the smaller, browner eyes disappearing, bigger blue circle growing in through and around. Oh, in 1996, they were completely brown, and the time I got here to California over 11 years ago, I was probably the only one who could notice the changing of the eyes there. But yeah, the past 6-7 years, give or take, the white part there, or the tannish part, gets whiter, darker. The browner part can even be browner than that. More white, more brown as the genetic carpentry goes on. Come see me in person and you can hold the flashlight or make the video, and yeah, you can tell me what you think of our hijacked lifelines, and you know, design you a nice contact image. Bring your favorite flowers, your car, a picture of your friends, family, but you gotta see me in person. And yeah, check out that. Oh, I'm saying yeah way too much. I've got to stop that. And to check out Saints Test Imagery, I got a full year in. I'm going over them again. May have missed a day or two here and there, but I'm one man working alone. Come help me out. Tear down the Great Wall of Evil. Let's get started. Building a better world. And a couple paper clips, and you got your contact image right there on the table or your desk. Come see me in person to get that contact. We'll also make for a nice desktop image. Stretch across that screen over there. I'm Milton, 339, the figure check for the morning. And these are some nice contact cards. 4x6 photos. You can print out as 4x6 photos. I've worn both of these past week. This is, of course, my Sugar Chick parable. It could be your favorite flowers, or it could be your car, your friends, your family, your house. It's up to you. But you're going to have to see me in person to get that contact image, or perhaps you would like a saint's image. Tell me all about that saint that needs an image. Doesn't have to be a well-known saint. The lesser known saints need the imagery more. Want to see religious persecution, religious censorship that affects your lifelines? Smaller browner circles here disappearing. Doing a little genetic carpentry as the son of a carpenter Mary. A dad, a carpenter, worked on skyscrapers. Mom, Marianne. I'm the son of a carpenter Mary. I get to tell parables. And I'm also doing a little genetic carpentry work on the eyes. Oh, let me show you my new phone, and I was I'm getting a nice background. Screen image. I got the Wiram Wadeo as the other one. I'm not sure how to get to it yet. I think it's supposed to turn on once you do the thing with the swipe. Well, that's good enough, isn't it? You can also use your contact image as a nice phone screen. Mouse pad, perhaps. Whatever you got in mind. Yes, if you could see that well enough, the smaller browner circles slowly disappear and the bigger bluer circles growing in through and around. And yeah, there's a nice mouse pad. My contact on it, my portfolio website. I'm not making any money with my graphic art. It's my AT&T livelihood. Their next door were making a whole lot of noise earlier. AT&T bought Spectrum to harass a Christian in a wheelchair. They also affects our democracy, the hijacking of America's lifelines. Make that video, time on your phone, number dial. You got AT&T's Randall Stevenson getting his hands bloody, hijacking our lifelines, getting them even bloodier. Altering phone records to cover that up. Call him on that. All AT&T employees. Park leave noisemakers outside their homes. They've done that to me. Get them screaming at what else Randall Stevenson's getting the hands of the company bloody with. Post. And yeah, if you know anything about those GPS things, mail me anything with a GPS on it, and if it's got my address, it's going to be stolen. It's the religious persecution. Places a cowardly Hussein in the White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins. Yeah, they don't name them Hussein unless they're Muslim. We all know who he reached out to first thing in office. That religious censorship affects your lifeline. Get it on video. There's kind of a lower AT&T sound right there. It can be up much higher. I guess it depends on who's there for the day. Make that video, post that video. And yes, ask your senator, why aren't you doing anything about AT&T? 150 million subscribers. All of you need to try to call me with your AT&T phone. What are you doing about that, Senator? That affects a lot of lifelines, a lot of security of the family, security of the nation, kind of thing. Get their reaction. Post. Be the reporter, news network news anchors as well. And then comes to me in person, I'll get you a nice contact image. I'm Milton, and this is my sugar check parable for this morning. September 11th, 2019. Yeah, I have to check my sugar because apparently it takes a whole lot of blood sugar to grow a new pair of eyes, whole new body. That's what I'm doing. I'll show you the eyes, how they look now and how they looked a few years ago. And let me tell you about my latest image. Other than the Saints, I'm redoing the Saints 1 341. Saints 1 in Old English, the font. Nice Old English. As a font there. I'm thinking of doing the Next Testament with I'm hoping to get all the 93 September stuff done. So I can get in my next photo order. It's already a third of the way through the month. Smaller brown circle right there, not there. Browner part here is a little whiter at times. It goes back and forth. It can be more tan, more whitish than tan, and then yeah, darker brown. See the outer circle they're missing? A little genetic carpentry on the part of the son of a carpenter Mary here. A little browner, I think, today than it has been past week or so. Don't try this at home. Dad himself taught me how to do the genetic carpentry. And yes, take those big fives. I'm not sure if I got it. I need to look and see if I can get it there. But lots of good folks can take the 4x6 fives you're going to find in those 30,000 photos. You'll see, you will follow price complex links. And no, price complex links used to be up there, I believe. PriceComplex2.wixsite.com/Daffodilia. You'll find my latest there if I ever get back to posting the latest. I'm always so busy. And vote-truth.blogspot.com is a good place as well, especially for the fives. Print them out, take them to those photo ops, hand out those fives. Tell them John Melton Brady has been asking for America to check the lifeline for over a decade and has yet to get one. And get that chant going as you hand out those 4x6 fives. Oh, it wouldn't take much to put it on a Word doc even as a full page. And this is a 8x10. I'm just not sure where it might be. One of the many things I need to get after. But hand out those fives and tell them all to get that chant going. Recall because we can't call. 424-229-4140. Recall because we can't call. Politicians, all those guys in office, elected officials, they should be looking out for America's lifelines being workable all the time, usable all the time. You got the timestamp on your phone, you got my number dialed, make a video of whoever's in the room there with you, their phone being hijacked, their lifeline. I guarantee you, if religious censorship that placed Cowardly Hussein in the White House, right after we got attacked by a whole lot of Cowardly Husseins, if it is affecting your lifeline when you need firemen, police, paramedics, it's going to be just as newsworthy. As me asking for a Flight 93 ticket for over a decade and not getting one. Certify your mail as well. 4260 Eagle Rock Boulevard, apartment 409, Los Angeles, California, 90065. Not one bit of mail about the 93 checks or any of my other imagery. Use FedEx, UPS, any private carrier. Make a video of it first. And yes, those of you who know how to do that GPS stuff, send me anything with a GPS on it, and if it's got my address, excuse me, if it's got my address, it's gonna be stolen, unless of course it's a bill. So yeah, right there, 4260. Yeah, use that to find America's stolen their warehouses. I bet you won't find one bit of cowardly Hussein. One bit of cowardly Hussein mail, or you probably won't find much from the losers of the last political election. You might find a whole lot of the winners. Handsome ball guy. Have trouble doing two things at once. Yes, you'll find those flyers they hand out, mail out. You'll find them from the losers. That's our democracy being hijacked, and when you call me and you get that boring thing, phone ringing, error message, busy signal. Censorship's often boring, especially when it's Chinese. When you get that boring thing, when you're calling up countless other customers for your business, even when the business is politics, yes, that's a great wall of evil stealing your business so that those at the top, that they want to be at the top, can get the business. I'm up over 7 minutes. Come see me in person. Let me put you in my imagery when you see someone besides me. In the 30,000 plus graphic card photos, you'll find at a lot of those sites. Daffodilia there. Daffodilia.blogspot.com is another one. You see someone besides me, we started to build Jesus' immaculate house, those 1,000 points of light to inspire the future and the present to greatness. Do that. Put yourself right here. But you gotta see me in person to do that. I'm Milton, handsome bald guy. And this is my sugar check. Having some technical difficulties. I'm Milton, son of a carpenter. Daddy carpenter worked on skyscrapers, Mom Marianne. I'm the son of a carpenter. I get to tell parables. I also get to tell you about truth. Make that video of your hijack call to me right now. 424-229-4140. Whatever you get when you don't get me. Yeah, you get religious persecution or religious censorship that affects America's lifelines. The world's lifelines. Make that video. Whatever you get when you don't get me. You got the time on your phone. You got the number dialed. You got AT&T's bloody-handed phone gate. Gets their hands even bloodier. Randall Stevenson, based in Dallas, Texas, with 150 million subscribers, gets his hands even bloodier altering phone records to cover up his crime. Get that on video, it doesn't do him much good. 327. Let me show you my eyes. And yeah, this the flower imagery from the weekend, and this is Monday. I'm not going anywhere, so I got my flower. The end of the month, yeah, just 2 days on the weekend. I may get back to doing more than one. That'd solve the problem, wouldn't it? Just make the video with the flower, then put the skyline on. And see the part right there that's light brown, and then the even lighter brown on the outside? Medical research being passed by with those hijack calls. Aside from placing cowardly Husseins in our White House, let me show you what they looked like a few years ago. And before 1996. Before then, let me show you a handsome bald guy along the way. Before then, we're all brown. Now that outer circle of the brown there's missing, Doing a little genetic carpentry as the son of a carpenter. Mary, don't try this at home. Dad himself taught me how to do it. And misplaced gold. Well, you can hear gold. He's right there. But it's a whole lot easier to just, oh, there you are. Just show gold, and then I don't have to go through the whole thing. I am melting. Son of a carpenter and Mary. His old English gold, I gotta reorder it. The big one, the 8x10, flew away. So I'm gonna, oh, nothing happens by chance. If the devil's people are walking among us hate that much, oh, I got to get the 8x10 back. Come see me, have wit will travel, show me the perfect place, me and gold, to build Jesus' immaculate house here on earth. And yes, girl. Not only let me get your favorite flowers as a nice contact image, Forever Flowers, but yes, let me define graphic art with your beauty. But you gotta see me in person to do that. Yes, the devil still she calls. Make a video of that for the Senate subcommittee.